It's the Rob Carson Show. Are you ready to be podsmacked? Now, here's Rob Carson.
Episode number 125 of the Rob Carson Show podcast. Hello, and welcome to the show. We are recording this on the 29th of June, getting ready for the 4th of July holiday weekend. Yeah, 4th of July holiday weekend coming up, and a lot of people are going to be chilling. A lot of people are going to be traveling. Gas prices are low. That's awesome, right? Pretty darn cool. I'm going to be on WLS in Chicago on the 3rd and the 4th. WLS in Chicago. Such an enormous honor, my God in heaven. And I mean this in all sincerity. As a kid, it always been my dream to be on that radio station. I've been on it a number of times. It never gets old. It never will get old. And I hope you'll join me. WLS 890 AM, Chicago. I know. How cool is that? Then I'm on St. Louis in the later in the week. Huge show coming up. This one is relatively non-political. Today we're going to talk about a major league umpire who saved a woman's life. She tried to kill herself. Indiana Colts owner, red-faced after tweeting out a picture of a naked woman, says he was hacked. A woman who is LGBT community member says that only way that women will be equal is when they start raping and killing more people. I've got great admiration for a guy who gave a police officer a get-out-of-jail-free card when he was being arrested. Oh, man. I have got some good... there's a story. A guy, they were looking for a serial killer in Vegas of homeless people, so they put out a mannequin. Guy attacked it with a hammer. He's going to jail. They have no connection to the other crimes, but he's going to jail for a very long time. Just tons of stuff to get to. I know you're going to enjoy the show. Want to just make you know our sponsors. Our sponsors are terrific. Dr. Alex Nelson is a chiropractor in the Kansas City area. And chiropractic has saved me so many times, and I was a non-believer until about 12, 15 years ago when I was told that the pain in my shoulder and my arm was a heart attack and I need to get a nuclear stress test. And I went, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God, oh, God. And then I went to a chiropractor, and he said, no, man, your pillow's too thick. All right. Now, what is your individual situation? Could be different. Chiro may very well work for you. I know it can decompress herniated lower back discs. I know they do massage therapy. All of these things are wonderful. Dr. Alex Nelson to take care of you. 816-741-4711, 816-741-4711. Go to fountainhealthchiro.com, fountainoflifechiro.com. Sorry about that. Fountainoflifechiro.com. All right? Fountainoflifechiro.com. Grass Monsters KC as well. Grass Monsters Power Equipment in Raytown, Missouri they're spectacular. They sell American-made mowers, zero turning radius. Some ride on, some ride behind. Commercial or residential, either one. Dixie choppers made in Indiana. These marvelous, marvelous machines known as Hustlers made in Kansas. You will love it. You're thinking about a new mower. You're thinking about a mower that's going to last you the rest of your life. Think about Grass Monsters KC. GrassMonstersKC.com. Okay. Let's start off the show with some good news. This is a pretty fascinating story, and I think that, the whole life-saving thing is amazing. And, you never know when you're going to be confronted like this, but most people will end up being heroes. They do. People can be accidentally heroes. They just do it. And I see this more times than not. I see more people race toward people in distress than run away from them. John Trumpain, 34 years old. He is a major league umpire. He's a pretty young guy. Saved the life of a suicidal woman planning on jumping off a bridge in Pittsburgh. He decided to go out for a run before the game. He was going to be doing a PNC Park there in Pittsburgh. He was going to be umping. And he was on the Roberto Clemente Bridge. He sees a 34-year-old woman hanging over the railing. Here is his reaction to what happened.
We got her back on this side, and after she came back on the side, I went up to her because she said, "You'll just forget me after this," and I said, "No, I'll never forget you. This was an unbelievable day, and I'm glad to say that she can have another day with us, and glad I was in the right place at the right time. And this isn't about me. I appreciate this opportunity, but this is just for her, and that people care about her."
I think it's cool as hell. Really, really cool. So he ran over to the woman, struck up a conversation, asked why she was over the railing, standing there right on the edge, ready to go. And she basically said she wanted to get a better look at the city. And he said, no, you don't want to do that. It's just as good over here. Let's grab some lunch and we'll talk. The woman was not deterred. Needed further talking down. She said, no, I'm better off on this side. Just let me go. He said, I'm not going to let you go. Let's talk this out. Let's get you back over here. She continued to make disturbing comments, telling him, no one wants to help me. Just let me go. You'll forget me tomorrow. He said, I'll never forget you. You have my promise on that. She became more emotional. The ump mouthed call 911 to a passerby. He was joined by two more men, one who held her by the arm and another who grabbed her feet and ankles, got her to the barricade and lifted her over. I think this is spectacular. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I have a feeling he'll stay in touch with her. I think it's really, just remember that name, okay? John Trumpain. John Trumpain. Spectacular. This is pretty funny. Owner of the Indianapolis Colts tweeted out a photo of a naked woman. Claimed he was hacked. Jim Irsay, his account erased the tweet about 12 minutes after it went up. Shortly after the photo was sent out, Irsay account tweeted its own Twitter handle at itself in response to one of the owner's tweets from June 16th that read, I've been hacked. Be careful out there. The photo is that of Hungarian adult actress Annette Dawn. And I just lost you because you're Googling Annette Dawn. It's with one N, I'll just tell you. Annette Dawn, D-A-W. Anyway, followed by a blank tweet addressed to the accounts of multiple local Indianapolis reporters, news stations, and the basketball team, the Indianapolis Pacers, or the Indiana Pacers. So within an hour of the photo going up and then coming down, Irsay's name was trending on Twitter with many NFL fans roasting him for the not safe for work post. That's spectacular. I've been hacked. Be careful out there. Sure, dude. Sure, buddy. You've been hacked. You keep saying to yourself that, man. Oh, this is a story. This is you're gonna like this one. I mean, it's gonna make you go, but it's a same thing happened in The Big Lebowski. All right. There is a woman who's about ready to dump the ashes of her departed mother, I guess. Wanted to do this off the side of a bridge. Unfortunately, the ashes blew back into her face.
Oh, that's not even funny. I'm not to do it over the road.
He's laughing.
You need to brush.
That's horrible.
You need to brush her off the side.
Damien, that's disrespectful. Don't say that. I'm supposed to.
You can't claim over.
Why didn't someone tell me?
Oh, this is funny. The whole family had a good sense of humor about it because the YouTube description says, my Nana definitely did it on purpose. Here's the scene just like it from The Big Lebowski.
And so, Theodore Donald Karabatsos, in accordance with what we think your dying wishes might well have been,
Come on.
we commit your final mortal remains to the bosom of the Pacific Ocean, which you loved so well. Good night, sweet prince. Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Didn't win.
Damn it, Walter.
Dude, I'm sorry.
It's a travesty with you, man.
I'm sorry. It was an accident.
Sorry, guys. This sort of stuff just gets me in a really good mood. And, I wanted to do this podcast today to give you maybe a break from the day's events since we had to do a long weekend. Have we done that yet? Have we done that yet? Speaking of The Big Lebowski and the dude, Jeff Bridges apparently said of Donald Trump, he said some people will be blatantly out there talking about their disappointments and ridiculing the way that President Trump is acting. I'm rooting for him to do well by our country. By the way, he supported Hillary Clinton last election. He says, I'm rooting for him as a human being to do the cool thing. And if Jeff Bridges says it's cool, then I say it's cool too. I put that on Facebook and Twitter today, and I said, he's a man of stature in Hollywood, and he could say something like that without being destroyed. And I think it's cool. Here's another. This is a great story. This is in Minnesota. Dakota County Sheriff's Office in Minnesota said that a man who was wanted on an outstanding warrant tried to avoid arrest by using a get-out-of-jail-free card from Monopoly. This is so good. Deputies ran the passenger's ID, learned that he was wanted on a controlled substance warrant. When the officer searched, they found an ace up his sleeve, the Monopoly card. Unfortunately, it didn't work. Here's Jimmy Fallon talking about it last night.
Well, this made me laugh. The other day, a man in Minnesota got arrested and handed the officer a Monopoly get-out-of-jail-free card. When he got to prison, his cellmate handed him a card and said, "You just won a beauty contest." And you go, "Oh, boy."
There you go. I wonder if he tried to pay his bail money and Monopoly money. Just kind of wonder. Oh, God, that's funny. Give the man some give the man some credit. I mean, that is just funny. All right? Yeah, maybe he was high. Maybe he was just saying, I think it's funny as hell. Slate's Christina Cauterucci claimed women won't be equal until they murder more people before branding LGBT conservatives as queer villains in an article Wednesday. This is in Slate, of course. These men are more than bad actors on the national stage. They seek influence and use it for evil means, then show no remorse, wrote Cauterucci about gay conservatives in her article. Queer villains remind us you can't be conservative and gay, you see. Anyway, the article, queer villains remind us that gay does not always equal good. Again, you can't be gay, and you can't be black, and you can't be conservative. You just can't. Cauterucci then claimed in her article that women won't be equal until they start murdering and raping. This is a good lesson for straights to learn, too. I have long believed that women will not have achieved full gender equality until we make up half the world's mass murderers and sex offenders, she declared, adding, not that I would advocate for more mass murderers and sex offenders, but I do wish kind of that women made up a greater share. This is a mental effing illness, okay? If people believed women to be capable of terrible violence, they might believe us to be capable of everything else. The presidency, for instance. This is the twisted logic of someone who seriously needs either shock treatment, certainly ups medication. Visible gay villains teach the world that queers aren't all lovable Ellen DeGenereses, glamorous Laverne Coxes, sharp-witted Anderson Coopers, and goofy Neil Patrick Harrises. Equality means having the freedom and power to be just as effed up and insufferable as anyone else. Well, you've done the insufferable thing. Bravo. You have done the insufferable. Gay villains serve a related purpose within a queer world. Villains like Milo Yiannopoulos, Caitlyn Jenner, another famous Trump supporter who has graciously excused the actions of transphobes on behalf of the LGBT community, are now fantastic reminders of the ugliness that lies within our ranks. You cannot be conservative and gay when it comes to sick-ass people like Christina Cauterucci, who is mentally ill. And it's funny because I remember when Silence of the Lambs came out and Buffalo Bill was a transgendered person, and people raised all sorts of holy hell that there was a serial killer being played as a transgender person. They were very upset about it. Very upset about it. You can't have evil villains who are gay or transgendered for that matter. And now we got this. Unreal. Mentally ill. CVS and Walgreens are at war over whether to put junk food or where to put it in their stores. It's kind of interesting because, these are stores that sell prescription medications and other medications. They also sell things that are bad for you. I don't have a problem with either one of those. I don't have a problem with them being sold in the same store. I don't. CVS has moved to officially eliminate trans fat products and tanning oil from its shelves and replace junk food in the back of the stores, while Walgreens prefers to leave food choices to the customers, which makes sense. CVS got rid of tobacco products from its shelves, changed its name to CVS Health Corp. 2014. All right? So they wanted to shift to the store's philosophy as a, standout, providing healthier options. And like I said, now they want to move get rid of the trans fat, and they want to get rid of low protection sunscreen. Walgreens offers both healthy and unhealthy options to its shopper because you know why? Because people can make up their own minds. to ensure that customers will not be limited in what they can purchase. Walgreens continues to sell cigarettes. Also stocks its shelves with e-cigarettes, nicotine gum, and lozenges. People know that cigarettes are bad for them. Unlike CVS, Walgreens is keeping its candy and chips at the front of the store, has added fruits and vegetables to the selection it offers. The store also gives shoppers exercise and health points. Why do they need all this crap? That can be used for purchase to reward customers who choose to be healthy. Making stores healthier is risky given that some customers will like the changes and some will not. According to a CEO of marketing from Dialogue, a big part of visiting a drugstore is habit. You can risk alienating customers if you change things, disrupt their habits. Overall, I mean, I go to CVS because it's close to my house. I like Walgreens better. One of the main reasons is their as seen on TV section. It's much better at Walgreens. Much better. Walgreens is a lot kitschier. There's a lot of cooler stuff there. All right, I want to get to this story. This is fascinating to me. A man has been is facing up to 20 years in prison for attacking a mannequin with a hammer. All right. Shane Allen Schindler, Nevada, tried to kill a staged person, mannequin. Okay. Now, there were 2 bludgeoning deaths of homeless people. January 4th, bludgeoning death of Daniel Aldape. February 3rd, killing of David Dunn. Did you hear the thunder outside my house just there? It just shook my entire house. Sorry. That kind of distracted me for a second. We got a big old thunderstorm going on. I love a thunderstorm. I need to take a nap today. So these are unsolved. So the police decided to put a human decoy out to catch the guy they believed who bludgeoned the 2 men to death. They caught this guy who admitted Tuesday he attacked the mannequin with a hammer, thinking it was a real person. Schindler faces between 8 and 20 years for attacking the mannequin, but he won't face charges in the January 4th bludgeoning and the February 3rd bludgeoning of the 2 homeless people. Okay? Part of the reason is they lack evidence in those. Right? Captain Andrew Walsh says this is good for the community, and he's taking this deal. He's off the streets. So he took a deal, and he's going to go to jail, even though there's no proof that he killed the other 2. This will be appealed so quickly it'll make your head spin. Okay? Schindler is a former resident of Bay City, Michigan, remains jail pending sentencing. Walsh, who came up with the mannequin ruse, says it appears clear that the deaths of the other 2 were related, but they both were attacked as they slept on the street and died of severe head injuries. All right? So they swooped down on him after he attacked the mannequin, thinking he was killing someone. He noticed it was a mannequin, started to walk away, and they swooped in on him. Plea deal avoided a possible legal fight over whether it's possible to kill an inanimate object in the state where legal precedent appears to support the charge. Laws in most states take into account what a defendant is thinking at the time of the crime, said Deborah Deno, Fordham University law professor who has written about the legal admissibility of decision-making by people who commit crimes. Most people would think you wouldn't get charged for the mannequin attack, she said. This teaches us that criminal law really focuses on what's going through someone's mind. That's what makes people dangerous and a threat to society. I listen, I'm glad the guy's off the streets, but I can't go there. Can't go there. If you jumped in a fake car that looked like a real car and tried to steal it, maybe that's not the best analogy, but I don't know, man. I think it's going to be appealed. I think it's going to be appealed pretty darn quickly. Dallas Morning News editor Mike Wilson published a piece June 27th admitting that news outlets, including his own, ran exaggerated stats on kids and guns. And there was a piece the other day I saw that 40% of us have seen or know somebody who's been shot. And I think when you see these stories that things are, you should greet them with a raised eyebrow. In this story, they cited a study from University of New Hampshire and University of Texas. Reported that 4.3 or 4.2% of children in America, 1 to 17 in the U.S., have witnessed a shooting in the last year. In other words, 1 in 25 people witnessed, 1 in 25 children witnessed a shooting this year. That's preposterous. Okay? Apparently, a professor has said that it was not limited to shootings, rather it included such occurrences as riots and bombings. Moreover, it also only covered what the children saw, not only what the children saw, but what the parents of the children saw as well. So it's bullcrap. And they're trying to inflate the numbers for gun control reasons. That's what it's all about. So whenever you see something like that, I raise an eyebrow. University of Wisconsin-Madison is hiring an administrator to provide social justice education at the school, offering a minimum salary of $46,000. Social justice education specialist will devise and conduct social justice workshops, supervise social justice student interns, meet with students one-on-one to talk about issues of injustice. Wow. One of the administrator's duties will be to increase the success of students who are racial minorities, members of the LGBTQ plus community, female or other historically marginalized groups. More women on campus than men these days. Social justice education specialists will also aid UW-Madison's Multicultural Student Center. My God, what a gigantic waste of money. Oklahoma police are investigating the death of a 29-year-old woman whose body was found inside Sand Springs Walmart. She had passed away 3 days earlier in the store bathroom. Walmart employee discovered the body of Catherine Caraway on Monday. Not clear on how she died, but it does appear that her death was suspicious. Oh, boy. Okay. Woman at Emory University goes to the hospital. Emory University gets a transplant, kidney and pancreatic transplant. Because I didn't know they could transplant pancreases. Anyway, LaCrystal Lockett, Stone Mountain, goes in for the surgery December 2014. She goes in for, body scan, whatever. Turns out they left a camera inside of her. They use a camera in the surgery because it's a delicate surgery, and they left the camera inside. Was it still running? I don't know. Yeah, they left it in there. So they had an exam just in June this month. So it's been in there 3 years. She had to have surgery to remove it, and she is going to sue them because of that. Boy. Wow. She's going to get a bunch of money out of it. Oh, listen to this. What would you rather have? Vegas or Vegas stoned? Well, now you're going to have the option of Vegas stoned. Listen to this. July the 1st, you're going to be able to buy recreational pot in Vegas. All right? An Oregon-based pharma dispensary began humbly as a medical marijuana boutique serving a small portion of Portland with specialty pot products. When recreational sales began October 1st, 2015, owner Sam Haywood said his customer base increased tenfold overnight. Right? Farmer was one of more than 100 dispensaries across Oregon to start recreational sales that day, 2015, the majority of which loaded up on staffers and inventory to handle lines. Nevada's going to do the same thing on the 1st of July. Nevada State Senator Tick Segerblom says everything we know shows that millennials are very pro-marijuana, and that's the new marketing push. This is a game changer for Vegas, and tourism is here as far as I'm concerned. Amsterdam on steroids. This is going to be huge. Now, they're near the Tropicana. There's one right on the Strip, north of the Sahara Avenue, dividing line between the Strip and downtown Vegas. This is going to be big. Following a Carson City judge's ruling last week that all distribution of the plant from cultivation and production facilities to dispensaries must be carried out only by licensed liquor distributors beyond July 1st, dispensary owners were using the last week of medical-only sales to get as much weed into their stores as possible. None of the existing suppliers are liquor distributors. First week of recreational sales in Colorado, 2014, dispensaries watched their shelves empty and marijuana prices skyrocket as vendors couldn't keep up, right? Took 8 months for supply to catch up and the market to level out. The only way you could get me on that roller coaster on top of the stratosphere is high. There is no way otherwise. No way. Coming up, your childhood for sale. The original R2D2, how much do you suppose it sold for? I'm going to tell you in a minute. Grass Monsters KC. Small businessman, Andrew Cook, bought this business about a year and a half ago, took over, decided he was going to sell the best mowers in the world, and they're made in America. Dixie Chopper, which is made in Indiana. The Hustler, made in Kansas. With, for instance, the Z2 residential mower, you get a 23 horsepower engine, Briggs & Stratton Elite Cutting System, 7-stage deck height, motorcycle tires, low-profile tires with motorcycle tread to provide smoother casting turns, and one hell of a warranty, 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty on the Z2. You're going to get great warranties on the Hustler as well. All you got to do is choose one, go by 5520 Raytown Road, take one for a test drive. Andrew will say, start it up and go out there and try it. You will not believe it. It'll be a life changer for you. Not kidding. Taylor Swift's dermatologist says you need to stay away from the computer or put a sunscreen on. Dr. Howard Murad, an American dermatologist to A-listers, claims that spending 4 days in front of computer screens that emit harmful blue rays equivalent to 20 minutes in front of the sun. I don't look any more tan, by the way. He's suggesting that it's important to eat natural foods that contain sunscreen and apply at least a tablespoon of a lotion to our faces before going into the sun. I guess he says you need to consider sunscreen when you're in front of the computer screen. I'm not going to do that. Vinyl is making a comeback. This is kind of cool, and I kind of really want to get a really nice turntable. Because when I was a kid, and listen, we had CDs and all that, but vinyl just sounds good, right? I used to hang out with my friend Jim and listen to vinyl, and it just sounded great on Bose speakers. Vinyl has a sound to it, a depth to it that CD does not. 3 decades after it abandoned vinyl production, Sony said it's going to start making records again. Right? Factory southwest of Tokyo is going to be churning out freshly pressed records by March next year. They stopped making vinyl records in 1989. Everybody went to compact discs. Now we got the, the downloads and whatnot, which is what the only kind of music we have here now, my home. So in April, official figures revealed that 3.2 million LPs were sold just in the UK last year. 15% of the record industry's income is coming from physical album sales now. That's amazing. Japan produced 200 million records a year in the mid-'70s. Sony was a major player in the development of CDs, which have taken a back seat. Nobody's buying CDs anymore. Do you buy CDs? I don't buy CDs. Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it's cool. It'd be kind of like taking a smartphone and going back to a phone that just has a phone and text on it, I guess. No, not really, because this time you're taking a step backwards that's really a step forwards as far as tech is concerned, because it sounds better. 4th of July. Wallet Hub says the most patriotic cities in America. I don't know why this is all about, but they say these are states that are the most patriotic. I'll just take their word for it. Most patriotic states. Here we go. Virginia. Okay. Alaska. Okay. Wyoming. South Carolina. Colorado. Washington State. Really? Hawaii. Idaho. Georgia. North Carolina. Least patriotic states. Illinois, Democrat. Massachusetts, Democrat. Rhode Island, Democrat. New York, Democrat. Connecticut, Democrat. California, Democrat. Michigan, Democrat. Pennsylvania, Democrat. Delaware, Democrat. Okay. I'm a Gen Xer. Watched Friends since I started dating my wife when the show began, and I was Chandler. She's Monica. Who drank the most coffee on the 236 episodes? Who drank the most coffee? Phoebe, 227 cups, followed by Chandler, 212. Monica, 198. Joey, 191. Ross, 188. Rachel, 138. Phoebe also spent the most on coffee at $408. That's $150 a cup plus 20 pence. That's bullcrap. They drink the fancy stuff. More than that. Finally, R2-D2, the original R2-D2. Check this out, man. The robot that was used in several Star Wars films, including the first one, just sold $2.76 million. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That droid is the creme de la creme of movie props. And they're saying that this could be, this could go up in value. Calabasas, California did an auction, the Profiles in History auction. And that thing sold for $2.76 million. Other items up for sale, including Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from the first two films, which sold for $450K. Darth Vader's helmet from the original film sold for $96K. That's all. Other space theme and television memorabilia were for sale, with a collection of 23 ships from Battlestar Galactica and Buck Rogers. Those sold for $1.8 million. So kind of cool for people who have too much money and not enough to do it with. Before I go, if you are experiencing neck pain, back pain, neuropathy, I have those things going. My neck, it just kills me sitting in front of the computer screen, getting a sunburn. And it manifests itself in a lot of different ways. Neuropathy is one of them in the feet and hands. I'm going to Dr. Alex Nelson. I want you to go to Dr. Alex Nelson, Congress Avenue, Kansas City. His number is 816-741-4711. 816-741-4711. Fountainoflifecairo.com. Fountainoflifecairo.com. Okay. I want to remind you, my T-shirt and swagged designs are up on two websites, TEE Public and TEE Spring. Okay. TEE Public, TEE Spring, and just look for Conservatees with two E's. Conservatees with two E's. There's one with Jan Brady's face on it. It says Russia, Russia, Russia. That is going viral. A lot of people on Fox News and other places are saying Russia, Russia, Russia now. Get yours by ordering at either one of those sites, and you can get put on a variety of different things. And it makes sense because, CNN's kind of the middle child of all the networks, and it's trying to get the attention of you. So Russia, Russia, Russia. They keep going back to Russia. All right, check that out if you wouldn't mind. Also, if I can ask you this, if you are an avid listener to this podcast, will you share it with others? Will you share it on social media? I'm trying to go viral with this thing. I'm busting my butt every day to create a podcast I hope that is different and enjoyable for you. And if you would share it on social media, I'm trying to get to 20,000 downloads an episode. So if you could steer people toward iTunes and The Rob Carson Show, iTunes and The Rob Carson Show, that would be great. There are now 124 episodes up there. So I'd greatly appreciate your support as I continue this venture in my life and try to keep the lights on. In the meantime, God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Happy 4th of July weekend, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to The Rob Carson Show. Friend him on Facebook at Carson Show, on Twitter at Rob Carson, and on Instagram, I think Facebook and Twitter are enough for now. We'll see you soon.